What's up, fellow cocksuckers? Man, we are in a real bind right now. We're experiencing a power failure. The switch in this car right down through here that controls our auxiliary power, the same thing that prevents the trunk from initiating and locking, is in the trunk. We are unable to get in the trunk right now, so we went down there. We tried to knock the trunk cylinder out. We're here somewhere near Calhoun City, but the is literally about over. Get the grave digger out of that shit. New tornado watch out. We got a tornado watch down here in Louisiana. We're down to the end of the battery. Talk about a total motherfucking but this is good that it's happening on a day like today instead of tomorrow, because honestly, I still think later on today that we're going to get some more activity up here. It's not over. I'm about 49 minutes from the home because I've been wanting to straddle this. What we're going to do is there's an inverter at the house. We're probably going to have to get some wires, and I'm going to try to rig. I don't know if this will even work, but you guys, we're going to join you. I think this year, part of my commitment to actually bringing you on this Mid-South chasing thing and keeping this authentic, keeping this real, is I want you guys to be a part of me. You're missing a lot of the root and the tube, the action that goes behind these chases, and a lot of the drama that's just so fucking terrible. When something like this happens, it can cripple a day, and you wait all year for something like this happens. And traffic jams, things of that nature. It's similar to the Truman Show. You got to be on TV all the time, but here we are, 16 minutes remaining. The computer's done. The trunk's finally revealing itself. We can't get into the trunk, which is where the fuse panels are. So I guess now we're on the way back home. Everything's done for, but I am going to touch base with you. You give me a fucking hour. We're getting back home. It's coming. It is coming. And like I said, they got new tornado watch out in Louisiana, and slight risk, upgrade to slight risk. But honestly, if you look at the HRRR, I know a lot of you may not be looking at the HRRR, but if you look at the HRRR, it shows North Mississippi later on this afternoon, a lot of these cells pulling up. So we're going to get home. I'm going to show you how we're going to test this new inverter. If the inverter works, we're hooking it straight to the wires. I'm not an electrician, and this car may catch on fire, but by God, we're going to run it till the wheels fall off. So take it easy. All right, guys, we're back in the mix. The car's hood is open. You see that little boundary line right here that's coming through where it's going to be a minute. So let's come walk with me. Let's take a look. Let's hurry up and get this going. What the plan is right now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to get this inverter. We got to get some fucking wires, and we're going to get this shit going. So roll with me. Try to keep you guys live during the chase. This is one of the first times doing this. And I want to be going through YouTube. There's still a split with that, so you're going to have to get this inverter. We're going to run a real quick test. Let's go find some wires. Where the goddamn wires are. We are in real time, by the way. I think what we'll do is we're going to get some alligator clamps. Just some basic alligator clamps. If I can find them. Okay, here's some. Right fucking here. Red and black alligator cables. Let's give these a go and see what we got. See if this will actually work. Or if I'm a fool. Now this could cause a fire. You really got to watch out because there's a major risk of a fire. I don't know a whole lot about electrical things, but I do know that if you hook an inline, if you don't put an inline fuse filter, you know, an inline fuse, that it will cause a fire. It's that simple. All right, so film on this. This is a pure sine wave DC to AC inverter. You get my hands and all that too?
Yeah.
All right, you hear that? We're getting an indicator that this is on. Let's step back just a smidgen. Okay, what we're reading right here, are you guys getting this shit? 12.5 fucking volts. All right, now keep it on that. Film me. Let's bring it back to this fucking mission. All right, the goal right now is to confirm that, or deny that this operation is actually going to work. If we can confirm that this battery is enough and it's not going to fry our system, you see the clouds are already starting to blossom. I mean, it's already too late in the day to get to Louisiana when you have a problem break out like this. It's uncommon. I've been doing this with this vehicle for a long time, and this is the first time that it's done it. So here's what we're going to do. This in. We are charging. All right, guys. So there we have it. I think this is going to work. What we're going to have to do, though, is we're going to have to rig something up to get whatever's in here. And in here, we need this box in that box. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to sacrifice time in order to do that. It's going to be a real bummer. But we're just giving you an update on the storms. Take a look here. They're starting to pop right out here in the northeast Mississippi region. We can even go down here and show you the you see. So it's starting to amp up. Oh, yeah. Good afternoon, cocksuckers. Guess what? We have rigged up the McWires. Do not run off the fucking road. We have McRigged the wires, and we have now auxiliary power. We had to take it the long way. So what we're looking at right now, we're going to look at the Southern Great Plains. This is the latest HRRR run. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's been a lot of tornado warnings down here in Louisiana. That was initially where we were heading. We were plumb to Calhoun City, and the damn power cut out. We lost access to our inverter, so I had to manually come home, cut cables, and manually rewire and re-rig an inverter and put an inline fuse. I'm not much of an electrician, but I had to re-rig it, and by God, is it working. So here we are. We're back, and I'm telling you, there's going to be something interesting up here later today. Let's run this. Yeah, right down there, I'm telling you. About sundown today. Yep. Oh yeah, right there. I tell you, North Mississippi's where it's at. You want to talk about the newest HRRR run, which it's not even fucking done rendering yet. It's not even done rendering yet. If you want to talk about what's going on in the Sabine River Valley right now, and you want to talk about these tornado warnings that are coming off of these clusters, take a look at those numbers, and now look at the conjunction right down here, literally right Houston, Vardaman, where we were talking about. That's a 4.2, STP 4.4, right down that line. right down that line about sundown. That's 0Z, which this time of year, this is about 6 o'clock in the PM. It's Greenwich Mean Time. It's also known as Z time. The beauty of weather is the science. I want you guys to appreciate the science. It's not all about the show. I want to inspire you to be involved in the science. Tornado watch out. We did expand the slight risk. The slight risk has expanded into this area. And honestly, the 5% has expanded. There's a few limiting factors that they're talking about, which I have not had a chance. Like I said, I had to drive all the way back. We had to get all the way back here. We had to rig it up and get into that flow state. I said, when you get into that flow state, I wish I could be in that state every day. I would get so much done. But here's the clouds. We're riding this boundary south of Tupelo. If we can get it to focus. Will not focus. Will not focus. There we go. Okay. We've got just some cumulus clouds out here in the instability parameters. Let's take a look. If you guys really want to get live and you really want to eat up some data, we can pull up the mesoscale analysis.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna have some luck. I just saw 2 hawks.
2 hawks?
Yes.
In a row?
Yes.
Okay. Flowing in. Moisture plume. Blasting in. Take a look at the Cape. Well, 1,000 joules, 2,000, 1,500 joules. Right down this fucking line. Right where I told you. Pardon my language, folks. I'm really trying to work on that. You know, I hope that I can work on myself while I work with you guys, and we can all pull ourselves together and run across the victory line together. You know, the victory lap. We don't want to eat up too much data, but we are going to go back here and we're going to reroute sources, show you the actual live radar. I don't know if you can see this little faint line. This little faint line, what I've been showing you people in the models for the last little bit, we can actually even do our velocity here. You can really see it better on the velocity. This is a wind shift line. And down here we've got these storms that are percolating. All right? Right there near Banner. You see that? Probably. All right, crew. Are you guys still with me? This is seeming to be the dress rehearsal for Saturday. It looks like we're able to rig the wires up to where they would work. And we're straddling this boundary. If you've been following the forecasts, that little trail, I had to switch my palette on to where you can see any hope. We're behind that boundary. We're trying to fight south and get south of this boundary. It's cold up here. Any hope of a tornado is going to be south of that boundary, straddling that boundary. I'm thinking you might get some weak something coming out of this. Any hope, which it's a super marginal. I mean, it's marginal. But any hope of anything would be here ahead of this line, because basically where you see this boundary coming down through here, through Amory, Aberdeen, it's triggering some activity. I've seen it with my own eyes. This stuff's pretty elevated, and I'll go ahead and give you a view. Take a look at the clouds up here. Just a bunch of clouds that are in the area. So, real storms, if you want to see what's going on, there's one storm in particular that I've got my eye on. Hey, John. Miley, thanks for joining. Thanks for liking. This is the lesser day compared to the other ones, but the best storm out right now is south of Carpenter. It's
Right.
You can see it's got this, on the velocities, that little flare, that little pull in right here. Just keep rolling. Just keep rolling. And it's just pretty much a big old bow echo that's been coming up out of the Delta here in Mississippi. Just a big old messy bow echo. That's where a lot of that instability is getting released. And I'm not going down there. And then you see the boundary. If you pay close attention, now I'm telling you, this boundary is going to be the focal point for Saturday. It's a sort of a stationary front. I climbed a fire tower and I visually saw it with my own eyes. You can see the clouds of it. It's a trip. But you follow it all the way up. Here I-55, Pickens, Goodman, Durant, French Camp, Ackerman, and then pretty much straddling the Natchez Trace Parkway, in which we're actually kind of straddling the line ourselves. We have to reroute to Columbus Air Force Base. All right, and there you see that line, which we're trying to break on through to the other side. This one right here, you see that little kink? It's got that little curly Q on that back end, and on that velocity, really just a mess of, just a conglomeration of cells there. I couldn't tell you what, if anything, in the way of potential for a storm, but I do know this: it's going to involve getting south of this line, which we can place a marker and show you. We're probably about 8.25 nautical miles south of the line, but it is that backwards little hook, little appendage type McDealio here. You see that kind of thing? Are you seeing that feature? It's kind of weak, but it's consistent. It's steady. You see that? And the only reason I'm even telling you that shit is because the character of the models have changed from, at least a operational standpoint. This little axis right in here, we had some really high numbers right down there, right where the boundary was clashing earlier. 4s, 5s. It's a lot tamer. It's a lot tamer. The new run is a lot tamer. It looks green as all get out. It is done for. But this is, like I said, this is a good dress rehearsal. 2.4s, 2.3s. I mean, we were getting tornado warnings earlier on that. It's one of those, as the crow flies, I think that we will be heading south, and I will fill you in when we get more information. Again, tornado watch remains in effect. Tornado watch, I think that's number 3. Yeah, tornado watch number 3 remains in effect for most of Louisiana, eastern Texas, and we're taking that wild shot that we're trying to score a birdie here. But we'll see you later, crew. Guys, I really appreciate you. Peace.